submarines.
Today I'm with Nicola Wydenbach, who runs a choir for Parkinson's called the Camberwell Skylarks. And can you tell me, how long has that been going and how did it start?
We were discussing it today, we think 10 years. My father-in-law had Lewy body dementia, and so I saw that speech therapy, some of the things that they do, is very similar to singing, and I'm a professional singer. So I started working for a charity called Sing to Beat Parkinson's. I approached Julia Johnson here at King's College Hospital. So we actually rehearsed in the chapel at King's College Hospital. And she had said, I wanted a choir for people with Parkinson's for 30 years. And it just started from there, basically.
Brilliant. Well, we did a YouTube video with Julia Johnson. She's brilliant, isn't she?
She is amazing.
So she talked about how important it is to exercise the vocal cords to keep your voice up in Parkinson's.
As far as I'm aware, I think 95% of people with Parkinson's will have some vocal issues. And so just using it is the important thing to do, to keep exercising it. So, of course, speech language therapy, really important. But singing in a group together, you're doing similar things to what you would do in speech language therapy, but in a slightly more fun, a slightly more connected way.
We all live in the yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. We all live in the yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine.
And so for people thinking about coming to a choir, does it matter if you can't sing, if you have a terrible singing voice?
I love people who say that because I've never really met anyone who can't sing. People say it all the time. No, not at all, because actually we spend the first maybe 20 minutes doing exercises, kind of warm-ups, stretching the vocal folds, working on consonants, so all in a fun, creative way.
How do you choose the music? Are there certain types of music that are better for exercising the vocal cords?
So people with Parkinson's, often the range starts shortening. So I try and look at songs that haven't got a massive range, but do go over at least a fifth up to an octave. So we're extending within that. I also look at some songs as well that have quite a few word patterns sometimes, so that we're practicing kind of speaking the words. But again, it's a balance. I don't want to be too wordy so that it feels like they're falling over. So I try and mix it up. I also try sometimes new songs, but I also like to find songs that people are comfortable with, sometimes to reflect their cultural heritage, sometimes to reflect their age, for example, or even their interests. So I try and theme per term, and then we try and work out the songs together.
So you're a professional soprano yourself. You've sung in many places, I guess, and done lots of recordings. How has your experience helped you in terms of running this group?
I think being a professional soprano is really useful because I can lead by example, because I have had to work on how to keep my voice healthy. I also can lead by, in the songs, demonstrating with good vocal technique. So it encourages people to sing a little bit louder, sing in a healthy way. I also think, because I did a lot on stage as well, I'm quite performative in my practice. So I think people with Parkinson's, the facial muscles and kind of emotions you can't always read them. And I think because I'm kind of a little bit larger than life, that encourages the kind of the emotions and kind of showing things on their faces as well, which I think is equally as important as the singing.
So the group meets every few weeks at the King's College Hospital Chapel, and it's the sort of southeast London area, I guess. But if people want to find out if there's a choir in their local area, how can they do that?
I'm the director of training for Sing to Beat Parkinson's. So on that website, which is singtobeat.co.uk, there is a map of leaders, and so you can have a look. And if there isn't one in your local area, then contact that charity, and they will normally put out a feeler, and they can also help you create one as well. I also run a group online, so if there isn't one in your area, then I can help you with that too.
Brilliant. And I guess that's in the UK, but internationally there must be choirs in every country for
I
Parkinson's.
would love to say they're in every country. America is quite well covered, and Canada as well. A lot in the Western world, but not everywhere.
Brilliant. So I guess people can always take the initiative and start up their own choir if they want to, if there's nothing in their area.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the great thing I saw about the choir today is it's a very sociable thing as well. It's like great to get together and do something as a group. And like you said, you do Christmas concerts every now and then, so that must be a bit scary for some people, but a lot of fun.
I mean, technically we're not a performing choir. We kind of refer to ourselves really as a singing group, so that we're here for the kind of the therapeutic benefits. It's not therapy, but there's the therapeutic benefits. But we do, as a favour to the chapel, sing at their Christmas concert every year. And everyone is a bit scared, but afterwards they're always so proud of themselves for doing it. But that sense of community that we have every week is really important. Some of them go off for cake afterwards, coffee. Ideally, we would have a cup of tea and a slice of cake, but because we're in the chapel, we can't do it. But they manage to still connect. They give each other's lifts home, and it's also important for the carers as well, for some, that they can connect as well. They can come and have a chat about what are you doing with a certain treatment or a certain protocol, and they can all talk about it.
Well, brilliant. So when do rehearsals start for your Christmas concert? I might have to come along.
So we will probably start in November. Okay. We'll probably start in November. You're more than welcome, always. Because it's always, the problem with Christmas concerts is always normally snows or something disastrous happens where everyone gets ill. So we always need a few more numbers, so you'd be more than welcome.
Brilliant. I look forward to it. Thank you very much for your time. Thank
Pleasure.
you. Lovely to speak to you.